Ooh, good morning, everybody. Hope you got a big old cup of coffee so we can dive into things. As always, first up, thanks to all those who have liked, commented, and subscribed. It really does go a long way, and I do appreciate it. And everything we are talking about today, you can find down in the description. Links to these articles, so check it out. First up, we got old SIA coin and the Quant network. They just successfully tested some blockchain interoperability. It's pretty nice, it's pretty cool. So basically what they were able to do is Quant uses what's called Overledger. It's part of their blockchain operating system, and they were able to pair it with SIA Chain's infrastructure and make things work. So it should allow for cross-platform applications, notarization, payments, and KYC services. Yes, everyone's favorite. But the nice thing is, if stuff like this goes widespread, you do it once on a chain, and then you can connect it to others. So this is it's a baby step. It really is. It's a baby step, but it shows that different chains of cryptocurrencies can get along, and they can work in limited capabilities. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, no, it's ongoing on SIA Chain's R3 Corda and private Ethereum networks. And they want to bring cross-blockchain solution to the market and look for further use cases. I think it's got plenty of good use cases, and I'm actually kind of interested to see where this goes. Not a real big story, but it's definitely good to know that some of these smaller chains and coins by market cap are doing some big things. But switching over to a big boy, so Dev Null Productions, they introduced a tracking tool called XRP. Yeah, XRP. Just derp, zerg, like the names of these things. I love them. I hate them. I hate that I love them. So yeah, basically, Dev Null Productions apparently is pretty big in the XRP space for data and messaging, and this tracking tool is supposedly letting us set up different filters and different things like that. So if you have a bunch of XRP wallets and you're doing a lot of transactions, I don't think many of us are, but some of us might be, it will actually track based off those addresses, and if it sees anything that it deems to be suspicious, it will send you an alert via email, text message, or a webhook. That's kind of nice. It helps protect against fraudulent activities. Pretty similar to, I don't know how many of you have like credit cards and stuff like that that are connected to your online bank accounts. I get a text message every time I spend a penny. And I actually did catch fraud a few years ago because of it. So the fact that they're able to do this for XRP is pretty nice. It's another step forward. Baby steps. Baby steps, people. Alrighty. And then also down here, a little two-parter for you. They're getting Chief XRP for the integration of PayID. It's pretty new. So basically there's this open payment coalition that was founded this year, like a week ago. Which, alright, whatever. It's a week ago. So basically what they're trying to do is, to use it, testers must download the banking app Zum. Again, these names. The app has to be configured, and it does all these different things. So basically, the PayID is used to forward transaction data by reading a QR code, so it eliminates the need for account numbers, and it reduces the probability of an incorrect entry to 0. I love QR codes in the cryptocurrency space. It makes it so much easier. You just scan it, and it goes. It's great. I love it. But yeah, also by using XRP check, payments can even be rejected or subsequently changed, so that unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, payments are not considered final. So if you think you're getting fraudulent goods, or you're thinking you actually want to buy this, it makes things a little bit easier. Though I'm kind of concerned with if both parties have to agree to the change. I feel like that should be the case. But then that poses its own thing. I accidentally send you 20,000 XRP when it should have been 2,000, and you don't agree to it. Well, I'm still out of luck. So, but yeah, no, nice little stuff going on in the XRP world. I like this coin, don't own any of it, but I do think it has real good world use cases. But anyways, moving on to number 3, we got to talk about China's digital currency, or what they're calling the DCEP, or Digital Currency Electronic Payments. Now, it's interesting because China's being very clear, this is not a crypto. It's not. They are shying away from blockchain and all those other, buzzwords that we seem to love. So yeah, no. Like most central bank cryptocurrencies, it was born to replace cash, obviously. To make it function more like cash, they invented a system called loosely coupled account links. So in a traditional system, it has to happen between two banking accounts. In the DCEP system, wow, DECP, DC, like, come on guys, get it together. You're a website, like a popular one. So, despite neither being associated with a bank account, they can actually do that wallet to wallet, just like Bitcoin or any other blockchain, but it's not on a blockchain. So they're borrowing what they want and implementing more controls. So because of this, the proponents argued that a moderate degree of anonymity can be achieved. So it's not open for all to see your transactions, but the bank can definitely see all your transactions. So it's programmable money. If the government decides to deactivate a wallet or reverse a transaction, they can do so with a click. Significantly, this blockchain that isn't blockchain, it's pretty highly centralized. They're following this one coin, 2 addresses, 3 centers. So basically, one coin is the DCEP. 2 addresses are the data centers run by the People's Bank of China and the commercial bank. The addresses will be connected with the DCEP central central ledger. Dear Lord, I need some coffee today. Coin will be distributed to these addresses and subsequently to the economy. And the 3 centers are the identification center, the record center, and the big data analytics center. Oh yeah, the ID center will get you by know your customers. The records center records the issuance, transfer, and settlement of all transactions, and the analytics center focuses on risk management. So basically what they're trying to do is a blockchain that's not a blockchain that they control. We'll see how it goes. China's a huge nation, and they're trying to definitely make some real big moves. And as I've said before, China loves just that little bit of control. Like all countries like control, China wants to take control home to its parents. So, yeah. But, in a parallel effort, they've been targeting business-to-business cases. So they're trying to build that using blockchain. The trade finance platform just received $5 million grant from the government. It's pretty cool. And, despite them not saying anything, it's China's best blockchain-like effort. Like. But yeah, no. But their goal is to apply it to real world and create wealth and economic prosperity. Oh, man. If that's the case, then blockchain will really deserve to be part of China's $50 trillion new infrastructure plan. Probably going to take a look at that off this. I'm very interested in this. I'm definitely going to be following it closely. Now, there is a partnership with Chainlink that I know is going on for the BCN, which I completely am blanking on what the BCN means. But it's definitely China's attempt at integrating blockchain in some different real world use cases. All right, moving on to number 4. Tron and BitTorrent are actually doing something. What? So, Justin Sun, everyone's favorite, just announced and revealed details about the BitTorrent file sharing system, or BTFS. It was created as a cooperation between Tron and DLive. And basically, the idea behind it is to create a scalable and decentralized storage system That's very, very, very compatible with Tron. So basically, he celebrated the launch and all these things. Ooh, yeah. It offers 6 benefits to its users, this BFTS. Reliability, low prices, greater decentralization, advanced incentives, advanced encryption, and a friendly user interface. So basically, if you want to mine this BitTorrent token with the BTFS, you can download the bundle with the BitTorrent client from the official website. If they use Windows, Mac, and Linux, you're probably going to have to set up your own node. But hey, if you use Linux, you probably know how to set up your own node. Mac, go to Best Buy and buy a $200 Dell. Like, seriously, get over yourself. Sorry. Anyways, finally, they're talking about different things. So this is interesting. I'm definitely curious to see how this affects not only the price of Tron, but the price of the BitTorrent token. I have both because I have Tron, so I'm automatically airdropped the BTT token, or BTT, every now and then. Yeah, but it's pretty interesting. But yeah. Oh man. Being a bifurcation of the IPFS system, creator of the system, Juan Bennett accused Tron and Son of stealing his brand logo and parts of his white paper to code the launch. It's not the first time Tron's got in trouble for this. Like, I understand that many, many, many different white papers are borrowing things from other white papers, and there's not, a crazy amount of originality going on in this space, but cite your sources. Otherwise, you look like an a-hole. That's just all there is to it. You're not making friends, and I'm sorry if you're not making friends. They're not going to be likely to help you or integrate with you. That will leave you in the dust. So it's kind of why I waffle back and forth on Tron. But yeah, I definitely digress. Number 5, wave goodbye to stuck transactions on Ethereum. So there's this rock side. They launched this service for a guaranteed price and time, Ethereum transactions. Its Relay API, it can simplify DeFi and other dApp backend architecture, and it's actually offering free gas for 100 transactions. So they're trying to get you in there a little bit, but they're not doing too well. So basically a stuck transaction, if you don't know, it just doesn't get processed because the users haven't paid enough money to get miners to prioritize it. So it just gets stuck pending for days, weeks, months, eternity. But basically what this thing does is, so it's a transaction relay service. It uses an algorithm to actually determine the gas prices, so that way you use the least amount possible for the best result. And they're also, through its API, offering gasless transactions. These use gas provided by the developer of the DeFi protocol that covers the user's gas fees for simple interactions. Not the more complex stuff, but the simple things. They're actually not the only one doing this right now. Biconomy, in May, they did something pretty similar, better gas management. So gas management is definitely a problem. You do have to be very careful, especially on some of these decentralized exchanges where you can set your own gas prices. You gotta really keep an eye on these things. So it's kind of nice that people are trying to tackle this and make it more seamless and user-friendly, because there's nothing worse than you finally figured out Coinbase. You finally got on DeFi, and your very first transaction, you only include 10 gas, and it gets stuck in pending forever. So yeah, definitely a good thing, and I wish them all the success. All right, jumping on to number 6. This isn't really blockchain specifically related, but it does relate. So Zimbabwe, which currency has crashed, I think 5 different times, or maybe this is the 5th time. Either way, more than once is once is bad. 5 times is really bad. So Zimbabwe, they're blocking all mobile money payments as their currency just disintegrates again. Absolutely again. So yeah, not only that, but the stock exchange, they're saying it's to avert a national currency crisis, and millions rely on these payments because of the difficulty in accessing hard cash. Most Zimbabwe people actually use mobile payments, which, for those of you in America who don't understand, the rest of the world has technology too. So now that's been said. So yeah. But yeah, they suspended all mobile money payments, including operations by the dominant provider EcoCash on Friday. The Zimbabwe Stock Exchange was also ordered in a dramatic escalation of their currency crisis. They're claiming it's a move to avert a conspiracy to sabotage the collapsing dollar, but yeah, millions of Zimbabweans actually rely on this, and EcoCash is also commonly used to buy Bitcoin. EcoCash is actually like, take this order and stick it where the sun don't shine. Yeah, they maintain that only the central bank can order it to stop trading, and the crypto news outlet Bitcoinicky claims the demand for Bitcoin is skyrocketed, and the cryptocurrency is selling at 18% above market rate there. Woo! Oh man. So yeah. So a national currency, the Zimbabwe dollar, or Zim dollar, it was reintroduced in 2019 because in Zimbabwe people are using the yen, the dollar, the pound sterling, and the government actually banned the domestic use of foreign currencies. But the government is mired in corruption. Like, well, obviously, your currency doesn't collapse 5 times without a bunch of people who don't know what they're doing trying to do things. Yeah, inflation's hit 750%, and the local stock market has surged as investors sought safe havens. Like, dang. Oh, yeah, and of course, in Zimbabwe, mobile wallets accounted for 85% of all transaction volumes and 22.6% of the volume. So what that tells me is the common person in Zimbabwe is using it. It's just, there's some people who probably never touch a physical dollar and they only use mobile payments, because 85% of the volume but only 22% of the value means that there's a lot of really, really small businesses that accept it, and a lot of everyday people, buying coffee, buying groceries, a loaf of bread, a sandwich. While higher up the chain, the big government people are probably watched pretty closely by the government, and they need to actually transact in Zimbabwean cash. But yeah, so government's claiming it. They're either deliberately or inadvertently acting to sabotage the economy. I'm gonna kind of side with EcoCash on this one, as much as I hate siding with businesses. Zimbabwe's kind of messing this up. But yeah, no. Interesting. It's causing a surge in demand for Bitcoin, and it's actually this, while not directly related to cryptocurrency, is an amazing argument for why we need cryptocurrencies, so that way crap like this does not happen. Alrighty. Some emerging news. Emergency currency news. This Elrond partnership up with Just Mining to facilitate their Genesis launch. So Just Mining is French. It's a French-based platform, and it's going to help run Elrond nodes while also assisting in its Genesis launch. That's pretty cool. And most of you are just like, why the heck are you even talking about Elrond? So I saw this article, I looked at it, and I'm like, I don't care about this Elrond. It's not even past its Genesis. Until I read this. Using adaptive state sharding and a secure proof of stake algorithm, oh my goodness, I need to drink some coffee, providing the blockchain platform with a fast, reliable, and secure consensus mechanism. The platform alleges, keyword alleges, to being able to process over 10,000 transactions in a second. That's huge. Ethereum just increased their transaction volume by a vote to increase their block size on their blockchain. I don't know if it's been implemented yet or not. I've not looked at it since I talked about that article with you guys a week or two ago, but 10,000 is insane. Ethereum can do like 40. For a while, Bitcoin was doing like 10, 15. Visa and MasterCard do 50. 50,000 transactions a second. So if we can finally get a blockchain that's actually doing 10,000, people are going to be applying this to their own. Like Ethereum needs this. This is what Ethereum's sharding is supposed to do, and what it should have done back in 2018 and still continues to not do. Drives me insane. But yeah. Oh man, so this is a really interesting thing. I'm actually going to probably keep an eye on Elrond because of this. But as always, do your own research. I'm some random dude in his basement office yelling at a microphone. Do your own research. Do not trust me or anyone. Heck, barely trust yourself, quite honestly. All right, but moving on. Starting to get towards the end of things. So from this plus token Ponzi scheme that happened, these thieves are now mixing the stash of Ethereum. Basically what they're doing, the plus token mixer has made 5 hops and used almost 5,000 addresses. 3,800 of them have a non-zero balance that ranges from 2 to 998, but on average it's about 140. So basically what they're doing is they're mixing, they're shuffling, they're moving it back and forth, basically trying to make a very complex web that's very hard for anyone to unravel. Basically, while they're doing that, they'll still have, pretty much this whole supply of 500,000 Ethereum worth 117 million. And the idea is probably so that way they can get even more wallets containing a handful so they can liquidate the stash thread exchanges without triggering any automatic lockdowns or withdrawals. I would not be surprised if they start doing some atomic swaps on wallets that support it. Go crypto to crypto, and then once that transaction clears, move those from wallet to wallet and further muddle the mess. Pretty weird, but it does sound like eventually, if they do it enough, they can hop between blockchains. They might have a chance to get away with this, which annoys me to no end, but such is life. Got to talk about Bitcoin. Duh. It's roaring towards an exponential bull run, of course. Finally, it's not totally dropping right now or whatever, but yeah. So this Willy Woo, he's got 132,000 Twitter followers, so hey, he must be doing something right. What do I know? So basically he's like, yeah, Bitcoin should have done this already, but freaking Corona just messed everything up. But we're primed and back in the same spot. And then, of course, there are other people being like, heck no, it's actually going to go and tank. So, again, no one really knows. Personally, I'm bullish on Bitcoin long term, so I do not think it's going to drop below 8,000. If it does, I'm going to buy some, because I do think eventually Bitcoin is going to be closer to 100. And if I can get a full Bitcoin, because I don't even have full Bitcoin, I ain't rich by no means, but if I could even get to a full Bitcoin that would one day be worth 100,000, take half that, that's a down payment on a decent house in a non-coastal state. So yeah. And then to round things off, a little feel-good news today, and things on a happy note. So someone on Bitcoin, he did a custom transaction on the Bitcoin blockchain, and he added one of the outputs as OP_return, and he converted the text in hex code, and he included that in the output, and basically it says, hello Noah, welcome to the world, little one. Aw, that's kind of nice. For as long as Bitcoin exists, that transaction will be there on the blockchain, and it's something he can point to later with his son. It's kind of cool. I like it. It's a little feel-good story. Maybe it's just because I got a kid on the way, and it makes me think about that. But just a little something to end the day. Don't be all doom and gloom. Don't be freaking out about percentages up or down. At the end of the day, this is a space that is new. It is growing. It is expanding. and that is the most important part. As long as you're doing your research and investing in coins that have real-world use cases, that's my opinion, in the long run, you'll come out ahead. So, before I completely end things, here is the top 10 or 13. Cardano's still slinking around there at number 11, but it's up 4% on the day. It's at about 8.2 cents. Not too bad. Got some decent green numbers, but not big. Bitcoin's like under 0.5%, a couple just barely negative. Oh, Tether doesn't matter. A couple just barely negative, a couple barely positives. Crypto and Cardano are the two big ones. Outside the top 10, looking for anyone going absolutely crazy one way or another here. And Digibyte up 8%. We talked about Digibyte yesterday. It's probably going to continue on that upward trend. The Midas touch. Yeah, okay. What are you and why are you 39th? Bitcoin Gold up 26%. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Bitcoin Diamond up 10%. What? Ren, okay. I almost talked about Ren today. They're doing some interesting things in the DeFi space, so that wouldn't be too bad, 15 cents. But yeah, no, Quant. We talked about Quantum up 8, almost 9%, probably because of this test. So yeah, that'll do it for today. I'll see y'all tomorrow. If you've made it this far, please like, comment, subscribe, check out the description for all the articles discussed. And yeah, I will see y'all soon. I'll say, may your coffee be hot and rich. Bye.